All right. All right. So thank you guys so much for being here with us tonight. One, taking time out of your evening to hear our stories. You're going to hear from myself and two other ladies, Allie and Leah. We are completely different in all aspects, but that's what makes this opportunity so amazing is that you don't have to fit into a certain mold. You can be truly yourself and you can be successful at this. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my story. I started 7 years ago. And if you would have told me that I would be a social seller, I would have probably laughed because one, I didn't believe in this. I really didn't. I didn't know much. And so therefore that's where my skepticism really grew, is because I didn't know anything about it. I just kind of went along with the hearsay. And so maybe that might be you right now, that you're thinking, well, I'm curious, do people actually make money with this, or do real people actually do this? And I'm here to say that I had both of those same thoughts. But I'm here to also say that yes, real people do this. And yes, we do make real money with this. And the beautiful thing about it is, unlike, a 9 to 5, you have no ceiling. You can make as much money with this opportunity as you want. And I think that's the really cool thing. And also the really cool thing is you can also work your 9 to 5 with this. I know that if you know anything about multiple streams of income, it is smart to have multiple streams of income. And so a lot of people, and you're going to be hearing from some that they do work and they also do this as well. And so I think a lot of people think that it's like a 9 to 5, quit your 9 to 5. And that's not true. We have so many people in our community that love their job, whatever it may be. If they own their business, they go a corporate job, a medical professional, whatever it may be. And they also do this as well. So I started 7 years ago, and I started because truly I had terrible stomach issues. I was bloated, constipated, craved sugar all the time, anxiety, and I had tried everything out there. And when my friend told me about this, I was like, okay, what makes this different? And I know we're here for the opportunity, but also you might be curious about the products, and you're thinking, well, what makes Plexus different? And I will tell you that I have tried so many probiotics. Like, that was what I was like trial and erroring before Plexus, because I had terrible stomach issues. I was always constipated, bloated since I was little. And so I remember researching gut health. This was like before it was a buzzword. And I remember being like, okay, probiotics, like, let me just go and try every probiotic. Like, let me just test them all. And I spent so much money. I don't know if you have, I used to have a shelf in my bathroom that just had a stockpile of supplements that I never used, because I would take them and I would give it the 30 to 60 days and I wouldn't feel anything. I wouldn't feel any different. I did a diet, all of those things that an elimination diet, all of those things. And now I know what makes Plexus different. It's the quality of the ingredients. It is that we are backed by science. And I love that we have scientists in Plexus that formulate these products specifically for gut health, for inflammation, for balanced blood sugar. And guys, those are the 3 things that make our bodies tick. Okay. So when I started the supplements, that was like the first light bulb. I was like, these actually work. Like, I don't have to go and search at my local Whole Foods or GNC or Vitamin Shop to figure out this perfect combo for me. Plexus has already done that, and it makes it easy for me that it comes to my door every single month. And so for one, I loved that if I wanted to do the business, I didn't have to have a party. I didn't have to have all these products shipped to my house and ship them out, because guys, I am the worst at the post office. Like, I am the worst. And so I would not be successful because I would not get people their products, right? And I would have angry people. So I'm like, okay, this is awesome. Like, everyone needs the products. My kids take them. My husband takes them. My mom takes them. My aunts take them. My friends take them. My dogs even take them. Truly. And my kids take them. And I just love that it is for everybody, right? These products are for everybody. So I was like, okay, everyone can use this. It's highly consumable. I don't have to have parties. They have their own website. Everything ships from Plexus. They package it up beautifully. They give you the information, all of those things. So those were like checking the boxes, and people need these supplements every month, which means that they're going to be reordering. So when you think about an opportunity, you want to think about something that people need monthly, right? Because if people are needing something monthly, that also means that you're making a paycheck monthly. And so when I started to decide to share, because I was like a bartender in between going to be a paralegal, and I was just like, oh, the office life is just not for me. And I knew it. I knew I didn't want to be strapped down to the office and behind a desk. I knew that I wanted to be out helping other women just find their purpose, because even though at the time I didn't have kids, you're in that weird, like, 28-ish stage of life where you're like, should I have like a real job? Like, I don't really want like a tie down to a desk, but like I should be, you're like in that transition stage. And I remember having $4,000 to my name in this transition phase. And I was like, I don't want to be like this in 6 months. Like, I do not want to still be here in 6 months. And I had seen what my friend had done with this opportunity. She was a 6-figure earner. She was going to Hawaii every year. She was able to travel multiple times a year on Plexus's dime. And I don't know, if travel is your jam, to me, that's my love language. I love to travel. I would much rather have an experience over anything material. And I'm just like, traveling, like that's what really got me. And the flexibility, the financial flexibility that she was able to have with this. And for me, I had student debt. I had just regular day-to-day bills, gas, groceries, all of those things, and then your monthly bills. And with $4,000, that eats it up quickly. And so I knew, I was like, I don't want to be like this in 6 months. I don't want to be like this in a year. What happens when, my husband and I get married and we have kids? Like, I want to give my kids that stable, stability of having money and not always feeling like, where is it going to come from? Right. And so I remember saying, okay, let's do this. And when I started, it's really cool. We have a really simple sharing system. It's really cool. We have a referral link, like any other like business, because they're smart and they're like, here, you're going to love these products. Here's a link, give it to your friends. You sign 3 people up and you help 3 people, you can win $300 to $400. And I was like, game, like I'm game. And so my mom and I started together, which was really fun, to grab an accountability partner. And within our first month, we made $1,000. And I was like, how is this real? Like I have $4,000 to my name. And like, that's like almost like half of what I have to like my whole entire savings, right? Like, okay, there's something to this. Like, people want to feel better and people also need money, right? Especially now in this time when inflation is weird and gas is crazy, eggs are $11. Like, y'all, I know for me, just going to the grocery store, it's like a whole paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot to feed a family of 5. And so I just remember making this. I'm like, okay, this could be my outlet to being debt free with my student loans and to take the stress off. And then we were getting married. And so I was like, I have to, I had to fund some of our wedding. And so I was like, how am I going to do this? So there was a lot of whys that I was like, I need this income. Like, I need this income. And then it just grew. And when you start to share, you just see that other people are also in need of less stress with financial issues. It's what people go to bed worrying about at night. People get divorced because of financial issues. People are super stressed because of financial issues. And so, as I grew, I hit the 6-figure mark at the first entry level of being a 6-figure earner. And that was my first trip to Hawaii, completely paid for by Plexus. And it was incredible. I got to bring my whole entire family, and we ended up staying 2 weeks, an extra week on a different island. And for me to be like, oh yeah, we just stayed 2 weeks in Hawaii and we flew to a different island. Like, that is bananas to me, because there's no way I could have done that without Plexus. It's true. There's no way I could have done that without Plexus. And so we went for our 3rd time last year, and I got to take my mom, and we also did 2 weeks. And to bring her on a trip like that, is incredible because she doesn't get to travel a lot and, all the things. And it's just so nice to be able to bring her along and just spoil her because she raised me. And it just means so much to be able to give back to your family, and just your friends and people in need. And that's what it's really all about. And I get chills thinking about it because it's so much more than, I think a lot of people think it's like super flashy and, oh, the cars and the money and things like that. But it's really about the core things that really matter to you and what you need. And that's like buying my kids their favorite yogurt that's expensive. But it's nice that I can stock the fridge with those things, right? And see my kids smile when they're like, yes, we have like the go-go squeezes or whatever. I'm like, those are so expensive, but it's those little things. And so to be here, I hit the top of the company last June. And that is triple. I mean, it's just insane. I mean, to think that you can make what a doctor makes. Like I make a doctor's income and I've invested 7 years. And people have done it quicker than that. It's all about your journey. And you have such an amazing support system. And so, turning $4,000 into $20,000 plus with a very low risk of, I joined for $34.95. There's no overhead cost. You pay for your products and that's it. And it blows my mind, the opportunity that you can have with this. And we have a lot of people say, I can't do this. I'm not in sales. I don't have a good social media. Well, you don't have to be in sales. You just have to be a real person and share your stories. And we've got you on all the social media stuff. We have a simple system to follow. But I love this team and our community is unmatched. And I know I've talked a little bit longer, but it's a really special thing to be able to share this, to hopefully inspire someone else just to take that leap of faith to see what could possibly be with this opportunity. So I am going to pass it over to Allie, and she is going to share her story. She is a retired NP and mama of 2, and she is a firecracker. So I'm going to pass it on over to her.
Hello. Thanks, Andrea. I love it. Firecracker Allie over here. No, I'm the person that didn't think that I needed help with my health because I love health. I went to school for 9 years to become a nurse practitioner, and I am not retired, but I am still licensed. I just am not practicing right now. And I'm proud for those, MSN and APRN initials that I worked so hard for, that license. But I realized when I got to my nurse practitioner job, my hot seat, I guess you can say, it was very anxiety provoking and not fulfilling and a toxic work environment and 10-minute time slots and a company that wanted me to do more, see more with little gratefulness for all the time that I spent there. So that being said, Plexus was introduced to my life about 5 years ago from my friend Heather. She's on this call. I actually started as what's called a preferred customer, was like, I don't really need that discount. I don't really know how long I'll stick with it. So I started with like the middle grade kind of thing. It's not even a thing anymore. But after 3 months, when I saw my headaches going away, I wasn't needing ibuprofen every day. I was not a bloated, cranky mess. I was pooping every day. I was sleeping better. I wasn't having acid reflux where I needed my prescription medicine or my Tums like I was using daily. I was like, okay, this stuff's real. This is good. Gut health is not something I learned in 9 years of nurse practitioner education. Not a doctor, not an MD, but basically a doctor, because I was prescribing a lot of the medications that a lot of people are living on or thinking are solving their issues or helping them feel their best. And it's honestly, in practice, I wanted to be an NP after being a nurse for 8 years because I wanted more, say in what I did. I wanted to have authority and autonomy to do things and make bigger decisions. But then I realized I don't really think this is, the way God designed me to help everyone with antidepressants and antibiotics and overprescribed medications for diabetes, right? And that's exactly what I did every day. And so those things are common in this world, but gut health really changed my perspective on helping people with their health in a new light. And that's by addressing root issues, helping people heal from the inside out. And, Plexus doesn't claim to prevent, cure, or treat diseases, but I can see it firsthand that sticking a Band-Aid on my acid reflux and my headaches and my constipation was not helping me feel my best. So, um, deciding after I had my first baby, who is my son, he's now 3. So it was, I remember sitting in my nursing chair when he was 3 months old, and I had to go back to work as a nurse, and I cried. And I'm sure there's moms here that have middle, babies, or they understand the change that a mama heart has. And so I remember like saying, okay, I have this thing called Plexus and I love health. I'm going to talk about Plexus more. And so now that he's 3, I since have had another baby, Nora. She's 9 months. Plexus has been that vehicle through 2 nursing jobs. During that transition from when I had Ashton, I wasn't an NP yet. I was actually in school. So I was building my business, working full time and going to school for my NP. But I still knew that Plexus was powerful. And so, I would get up a little bit earlier. I would work, send a couple messages on my lunch break. I would sit in my car before I had to go, home. My business to dual status, which means, the top 2% of the company, not the tippy top like Miss Andrea, but, learning that if I desire something more, you have the opportunity to create that. And so I have been working, I've worked 10 hours a day in a NP office, confined to walls on someone else's schedule. And I knew that that was not serving me. And I actually was let go from my job about a year and a half ago due to something that didn't really align with my health values. And I am so thankful that Plexus was there to fall back on and believe in and lean into, knowing that it was a way to lean into where I felt like my heart needed to be and to help others in a new light with Plexus, and also to be able to be home with my kids. At that time, I didn't know that I was going to have my daughter. And so after, transitioning away from practice and believing in Plexus, I found out I was pregnant with Miss Nora. She's a Plexus baby. And I'm just so thankful that now I can help other women who, want flexibility, want to make extra money, whether, like Andrea said, it's to fill the grocery cart, to swipe the card at the Target, run, which it's never under $100 at Target, let's be real. And just have that freedom and that flexibility to say yes more. But again, I love everything about health. I will say that Plexus gut health, learning about it has changed so much for me and my family. And, it doesn't have to be that you don't love your day job to want to pursue this. It can be just something extra to bring joy to your life, to find a community, of support. Maybe you lack that in your current job, and this is just fun to be able to help people in a new way. So if you have questions, drop them below. And Miss Leah is going to share her story next, our teacher friend, mama of 3.
Yes. Okay. So I started Plexus a little over 3 years ago now. And I started at 6 months pregnant. It was right at the beginning of COVID. And all I wanted help with was constipation. I wanted absolutely nothing to do with sharing or the business. And I said no for an entire year. The whole time in that year, I gave reasons like I'm not salesy. I don't want to post. I've tried network marketing in the past and it was a fail, and I don't want people to think I'm doing it again. And I put all these things in my head for a whole year, but I love the products. They work. If you're taking them consistently, they are going to work. And I fell in love with them. They helped with so much more than my constipation. It got rid of my vertigo. I have not had one spell since. My chronic UTI is completely gone. Have not had one since then. Just so many other issues that I had no idea gut health would solve for me. So I finally decided, I told Heather, I'm like, okay, I'll make a post, see what happens. So I ended up getting a few friends and family members on board with me. They started the products, they love the products, and I continued to share. It wasn't soon after I started sharing that I noticed that I won this trip. I had no idea really what it was at the time, but I knew that I was going to Florida and going to Disney World, and I was super excited about it, but I didn't know much about who was going to be there or what was going on. Yes, Orlando, so much fun. So the trip, that was what changed my mind. That is what made me realize, like, okay, I can make a business out of this, and these people are awesome. The community is amazing, and the incentives that Plexus has is incredible. Like this month, you can earn an iPad for helping 6 friends get started. So they spoil us big time for sure. But the trips are something that I really look forward to, and I want to earn. I want to go on the free ones that they have, the conventions, all of it, and surround myself with this awesome community. But being a teacher, we don't get to travel a lot. And obviously, a teacher's income, if you know, they're not the best. It's okay, but not the best. The hours are good. But we definitely needed an extra something. So I used to coach volleyball, and a year into Plexus, I was able to quit my volleyball job because I was making enough with Plexus that it was overtaking that money. And now I make more on my Plexus paychecks than I do with my teaching paychecks, which I went to school for 6 years for, which is crazy. I have my master's and my bachelor's to be able to teach, and I make more on my Plexus paychecks, which is incredible. And it has blessed our family so much to go on the extra trips. We went to Disney World this Christmas, which has always been on my dream board. I wanted to have that Christmas day that they find out they're going to Disney. So it has just blessed us so much. And then also just blessing other people and their health is incredible as well. So definitely has been a blessing and something that kind of came up unknowingly. So definitely happy with my Plexus business.
Okay, so are those stories just not insane? Like, they are so good. If that's like truly, I didn't even have this event to go to before I said yes to Plexus. Like, I couldn't even imagine being on here and listening to these stories and just a little glimpse of hope of what could be if you just said yes and took a chance with the girl who invited you on here, your friend. Like, just what could be for you if you just allowed yourself to say, yes, I'm open. Let's talk about it. Let's see if this is for me. And it's so simple, you guys. We have the easiest sharing system. We help you through every single thing. And here's the thing, like Leah said, this month, if you help 6 friends get started, you can earn an iPad and over $400. Like, how would that bless you? How would $400 extra bless you? I know for me, even now, that would be groceries for me, and that would bless me a ton, right? And so I want you to think about, what were some things that you thought of before you came on here? What are some things that were really, stressing you out last week? Was it a bill? Was it an unexpected, medical bill? I know for me, my kids have been sick like crazy, and we've had doctor, co-pays, all those things. Like, that can add up when you have multiple kids. Is it a trip you want to go on? Like Leah said, she wanted to have the Christmas Disney. Are you like Allie, who you're just like, this job is not cutting it. Like, I am not getting, my worth is not being, appreciated. And I want to do something where I feel appreciated. I want to do something where I feel fulfilled with helping people that I truly know is like going to really help them. Right. So like, maybe you're like me and you're like, I'm drowning in debt and I have X amount of money to my name, and like, I don't want to be here in a few months. And then when I have my babies, I'm like, I definitely want to see them grow up. I definitely want to be there for them. And so whatever it may be, and maybe you don't relate to any of our stories, but you know what the good thing is we have a community of over 8,000 people. And I sure hope that there is someone in there that you're going to relate to. I can guarantee it. So I just want you to think back. What is stressing? What is a stressor for you right now? And what would it feel like if you could take that stress off of you? And how would that feel? And so talk to the person who invited you tonight. Ask questions. That is, be curious, ask the questions. I know that they'll be able to answer them for you. And I hope to see you in our community because there is so much, especially this is March Madness, and there's just so much to be had this month and going forward. This company is always on the forefront of new technology, new products. We have products launching very soon, and just so many awesome things that are happening. And so we would love for you to be a part of this. And so I hope to see you in our community. And thank you so much for joining us. Bye, guys.